Creating success as a course creator is tricky, but it is so much easier when we are able to borrow someone else's blueprint and even their successes, because there's absolutely no reason that you should have to create the wheel entirely by yourself. Being a success in business isn't about being a one-person island. It's about creating shortcuts and by learning from what other people do. Now, you can do it yourself without anyone else's help, but that would be a bit like trying to climb Mount Everest without a seasoned guide. Slow and likely unsuccessful. Today, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that made the biggest difference in my business so that you can steal them and shortcut your time to success. So be sure to listen to all 5 and stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you how to amplify action number 4 so that it does not become a business liability.
Anyone can add a digital course to their business. So what sets the 6-figure course creators apart? You're about to find out. Welcome to the Digital Course Creator Podcast with Dr. Maura, a longtime entrepreneur now using her PhD in psychology to help you go from sticky notes to sales worth celebrating.
When you are building a business, it feels like there are just so many unknowns. There are countless sources of advice, but you never really know who and what to trust, who to believe, because you don't know if what they're sharing actually works or not. Today, I am going to share with you 5 different actions that have helped me to build a successful business, and I'll give you some specific examples of what each of them means and how to implement them so that you can make the most of each action. First up, in actions to help build a successful and profitable business is to stop and celebrate every little step you take, every win that you have. And I do mean every little win. When I first got a sale in my business, our entire family had an impromptu dance party. And we aren't those kind of people. We don't usually do that. And you know what? We still do it to this day whenever a sale comes in. Why? Because as an entrepreneur, wins don't always come with regularity, especially in the beginning. And it might feel like and seem like you still have such a long way to go. And an added jolt of a little celebration can give you the momentum and the motivation that you need to keep going. This is why we high five in the grocery store when a sale of one of my lower ticket offers comes through. If you skip this simple action in business, you run the risk of falling into a mentality of looking at how far you still have to go toward your goals. By celebrating, what you're doing is looking at what you have gained in progress and you can keep going more effectively and efficiently. When you're building a business, one of the best actions that you can take, and something that I did within the first 3 months of starting my business, was to get messaging help. So the first thing was to make sure that you celebrate. And the second thing is to make sure that you get messaging help. The truth is that even messaging experts benefit from getting someone else to look at their messaging. That should tell you something. We are too intimately involved with our business and our offers to see the holes in our messaging. We can slip into that industry jargon that makes sense to us, but when others who are less familiar with these terms hear them, they're just kind of left feeling confused. They don't know what to do or what to think. And I see this happen all the time, even in well-established programs. Words like funnels, email lists, and lead magnets might be familiar to you, or they might be brand new. And if they're brand new, they might leave you feeling confused. I have worked with several clients that come to me saying, I know I'm supposed to have these things, but I'm not sure what that is or what it means. Now, the key isn't to avoid these terms, but you can use them knowing that you need to explain them. Or, you know what? If there's something simpler and the term isn't actually needed, just go with the simple. Simple is good. Getting help with your messaging can also take you out of the nitty-gritty details of the offer and help you to use the psychology behind sales to help people become more aware, not just of what they need help with, but in finding the right solution for them. So get help with your messaging right from the very start. Another key action to take as a digital course creator who is ready to be a six-figure course creator is to involve your family and friends, whoever your support system is in your business or in your life. They don't have to do any actual tasks, but invite them into what it is you're working on. Share with them the details, the challenges, the successes that you're experiencing. The truth is that there are so many different moving parts to owning a business that you need to know someone has your back, even if it just means an encouraging word at the end of a long day. The other reason to make sure that you get support from your family and friends is, well, have you ever had a family member or friend ask, "So how's your business going?" And if they've never owned a business, this is a likely question that will come up, and it can leave you feeling really awkward, especially in the early years of business when you might still be working to break even. It's hard to respond to that kind of question. So just get in front of it. Share the win that you just had. Share the aha moment that you had. Talk about the day that you took for yourself because you were just exhausted and your creative energy was gone. If you loop in your family and friends, your support system, they don't have to ask the awkward question, "So, how's your business going?" Plus, these people love you. They want you to succeed. That's why they are your support system, whether by birth or by choice. Lean into that support. We all do better when we have a helping hand. Now, the next action, this one's a little tricky because it can be the best thing that ever happens to your business, and it can also be the worst thing that ever happens to your business. So the action that I'm talking about is that you need to experiment and pivot. Now, we all learned in middle school and high school about the experimentation process. We have an idea, we test it to see what happens. With the results, we make adjustments and try again, right? You probably remember the experimental process being kind of circular because we continue moving, right? This process of experimentation is what leads to discoveries. It leads to new ways of thinking, new products, new offers, and most definitely leads to progress. That being said, if all you ever do is experiment and then radically pivot, you might not be giving anything enough time to take root and to work correctly. You might accidentally get rid of an idea that has great potential because you are pivoting too quickly. Remember how I said that this action can be the best or the worst thing for your business? I am going to share how to make sure that experimenting and pivoting is the best thing for your business and not an epic fail in just a few minutes. But first, I want to share with you the fifth action. And this one's, I think, my absolute favorite for creating success as a digital course creator. We've been talking about, the best actions that you can take for your business to grow and succeed so that ultimately this is all leading toward becoming a six-figure course creator. The fifth action, which is my favorite, is so often overlooked because of the digital nature of being a digital course creator. It's really easy to fall into the trap of posting and hoping that someone will like what you're saying and then ask to magically work with you or purchase your course. The truth is that just like a brick and mortar business, we have to build genuine relationships. And this means talking to people, human to human, getting connected with them. Doing this single action more than feels comfortable is when the magic happens. Not every person that you have a true conversation with is going to become a client, but some will. Others will say no thanks, but they will refer you to their friends and their acquaintances. And then still others will help you refine your offer so that you do not attract them. So you'll learn who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with, and how to refine your offer, which goes back to messaging. It goes back to celebrating successes, which means that this is one of my favorite action items. Start connecting human to human with other people. We do this all the time in brick and mortar businesses, but we just forget to do it in a digital business. We think that if we're just consistent with posting, if we're just consistent with sending emails, we'll just make all of the sales we need. And yes, when you get a good funnel, so a good process of someone recognizing who you are, knowing what your offers are, and then saying yes, once you get a good funnel working, that does take care of a lot of the heavy lifting. But there's still this human component, especially in the day of AI. We need to make sure that we are having really genuine conversations. Now, we've talked through 5 different action items or actions that you can take, and now it's time for an action item for the week. This week in your business, take some time to implement one of these 5 actions, whether it's celebrating, whether it's getting regular feedback on your messaging, involving your family and friends, experimenting and pivoting, or even making some calls, talking to some people. Choose one action that you can take this week inside your business. And then when you're ready, add another one, but don't wait too long. Some of these actions are really pretty easy to implement. So start with something that feels light for you, and then you can ease into more of the time-intensive actions, like the very last one I just told you about, being able to talk to people, really getting on those calls, having some genuine interactions. That's going to take more time. So do something that feels light for you first, and then move into the stuff that takes a little bit more time. As always, the key is truly to do something different in your business, because that's when growth happens. That's when you can uncover a strategy that works. And growth in your business is all about strategy, right? Finding the right strategy takes time, it takes energy, it takes action. Because we have to focus not just on magnetic messaging and course design, but it's also about mindset. It's about choosing the right learning opportunities so that we can make progress. And all of that combined can feel big. I'm not going to lie. It can feel big sometimes. This is something that I've been managing in my own business, but I also help my students with this, and I help my clients through this process. After 15 years or more of creating college courses, being a psychology professor, a mentor, an entrepreneur, one of the things that I've learned is that we can't just rely on our learning to get up to that 6-figure mark as a course creator. The books, the podcasts, the courses, the workshops that are out there, they're plentiful, right? But they'll only get us partially there. Probably about 10% of the way there to that 6-figure mark. The other 90% often comes from mindset work through one-on-one support. If you are listening today and you're realizing, I'm ready to take the next steps in my business, I really do want some one-on-one customized help. I want some tailored help with building my business. I'm tired of all of the big programs that tell me the same thing over and over. I need help with my business. If you're at that point right now, as you're listening to this, let's have a talk. Send me a DM at Digital Course Creator Guide on either Instagram or Facebook, and we will sit down to figure out the next right steps for you and for your digital course business. Now, I know that not everyone is ready for a one-on-one coach or mentor or strategist, but you might still have questions. Maybe you need some help getting unstuck or just plotting out your next step. I'm here for that as well, because you know what? We all deserve to have support in our business. If you need a little bit of extra support, I hold at least 2 slots open every week for strategy calls that are designed to help you get unstuck and take action in your business. These are free, no obligation calls, and you can schedule at coursecalls.com. If you are ready to make the next 12 months the year that you go from being an uncertain course creator to a 6-figure course creator, schedule a strategy call today at coursecalls.com. Now, earlier in the episode, I promised you that I would give you some hints so that you can experiment and pivot in a way that benefits your business instead of tanking all of your hard efforts. Experimenting and pivoting in your business should be a regular part of your systems and processes, but pivoting too often or too fast can lead to a breakdown in the progress. What is the magic mix then? The key to allowing experimenting and pivoting to be a business success is to gather enough data in your experimentation that you can start to see trends and identify what truly doesn't work and what does work. We don't want to look for something that, oh, this didn't work one time, and so you pivot. No, we want to look for the trends. Once you have a clear trend, it's time to adjust or potentially to pivot. Now, if you want more quick solutions for building your successful digital course business and creating magnetic messaging, hit follow now.